Damn, man, that's the longest I slept in a long time. Is it still March 7th? Damn, okay.
Alright, whatever. What did I miss? I hope a lot of cool stuff.
The Mazda. The Chevrolet.
Jesus Christ, that is so loud! Whoa! Whoa! Okay, now we're back to business as usual. It looks like Kaz has decided to relapse into adding CUVs and SUVs for some weird reason. No more race cars for you, buddy. You're gonna be stuck driving the Renault Captur S Edition TCE 140 or whatever the fuck it's called. The first thing that I noticed was how ugly this car is. The second thing that I noticed is that it doesn't really like to rev. It makes absolutely nothing after like 6,000 RPM. It's also a really tall front-wheel drive car, which naturally that causes quite a bit of understeer and poor handling. Everything observable in the SUVs and the CUVs that they've added have unsurprisingly just been bad all around. Is it fast? No. Does it drive good? No. Does it look good? No. That's never really gonna change. So me saying that over and over again just isn't super helpful. So I don't even really know what to say about these cars anymore because I've kind of nailed that point in there to where, oh, all of them are bad. They just are. They're just not good. They're not fast. They don't handle good. And that's pretty much all that you can observe in, you know, a racing game. But I will say that this is one of the better ones. It's kind of in 2008 territory, but better. I say it because it's buildable, right? It's got the manual gearbox, so it's not a CVT. You can actually buy parts for the engine. It's smaller and lighter than the 2008, I believe. So when we get to that part of the video, it's got a little bit more hope, I suppose. But just like, you know, every other one of these, it's not gonna be good unless it's pretty much fully modified. And even then, it might still be pretty shit. We've seen that a few times where modifying it does not fix the car. Like, it's really rare that we get a decent one of these, and I don't think this will be another one. I think this one will be pretty close, but it's gonna have one of those newly added front-wheel drive car handling characteristics where it just doesn't drive. I talked about it a little bit more. I think the only two that I've enjoyed, or I guess three now, have been the Renault Aventine. That drove pretty good. The Mitsubishi FTO, that drove really good. And the Hyundai Elantra, the Group 4 car. Because it's a touring car, it's a race car, right? It's gonna be kind of hard to mess that one up. I'm gonna keep pretending and acting like I don't know. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go drive and modify the Renault Captur. This will be my first time driving a Renault Captur. This will definitely not be my second or third time driving a modified Renault Captur. This will be my first time, and these will be my immediate first impressions after getting out of driving the car. Definitely not me trying to remember how the car felt after not driving it for a month. Definitely didn't drive this car a month ago. This is definitely new breaking news, live from the field. Okay, I'll be right back. I mean, it's better. The engine still sucks and doesn't like to rev, and it has a hint of that weird newly added front-wheel drive characteristic, but it's not ruining the car. It's not super noticeable. It doesn't ruin the experience. It's not hopeless, but it's still pretty lame. I mean, you could drive this or you could go drive a Clio. Go drive a Clio, dude. What the fuck? You could say that the possibilities of this car being not a viable choice for racing is infinity. Do you guys see how I'm doing the transitions between cars this time? While I'm talking about the other car, I say a part of the name of the other car, and then it cuts to that. It's like so clever. It's like a reference. I don't even know what it is. That's how clever it is.
Now, I was expecting a car that handled really nice with very little torque and an okay amount of horsepower. I would expect this car to be pretty fun to slide around or push, whether you get it to grip or drift. Either way, I was expecting a fun car out of the box, okay? That's not what this is. This car fucking blows. I'm not gonna lie. This car fucking sucks. And I'm really saddened by that because I was hoping it would be cool. It's not. It's got the softest suspension ever on shitty tires with no power, and it needs downforce for sure, at least over the rear wheels, because it has more fucking lift oversteer than a CTR Yellowbird. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
This is, luckily, the easiest fix in the world. It's like 4 parts. Suspension, sports tires, wheels, and rear wing. And that's it. And now the car drives like how it probably should. But it comes on like the softest suspension ever. And I think that's most of the cause of the lift oversteer even. I think if you put sports tires and suspension on, you might not even need wheels or downforce. So that was a pretty tough pill to swallow, man. The car just doesn't drive good stock. No matter where I put it, no matter how I drove it, it didn't get any better. It's just no grip, no power, and that's the combination of those two things just isn't very fun. It is, however, Gran Turismo, and we are driving a Japanese sports car, so there are plenty of modifications you can do. And it's better, but it's still kind of hard to drive in the, typical, oh, you fully modified a car in Gran Turismo 7 here. Let me randomly spin you out every 5 seconds type thing. And it's not even like that crazy when that happens. Like, this is a pretty mellow car with that trait, but it still has that trait like every other fully modified car in Gran Turismo 7. They just decided to make the car drive shitty. I don't know why. So this is very much one of those cars that needs a good balanced set of upgrades to be good. You have to understand how cars work to upgrade it, which those are my favorite cars anyways, but I was really hoping this car would still work in the extremes. Because it seems like it should. I mean, it's a fucking RX-7. I think in real life they kind of do work on either side of the extremes and in between. They're a solid car, they're a solid platform. The only downside is owning one because it drinks more oil than something that drinks a lot of oil. I don't know, like a fryer. Do fryers consume a lot of oil? This car was kind of underwhelming, I'm not gonna lie. I really hoped for something super cool, and in my opinion, I didn't really get it. But my livery popped off, that's pretty cool. We gotta talk about a Camaro now. Now, I'll tell you what I was expecting from this car. In fact, I won't tell you, I'll just show you. I didn't put in that splat sound effect, by the way. I tried to find the original, but it got taken down, and every single one of the re-uploads has that in there for some reason. It's fucking hilarious. But this car's not actually like that at all. It is so nice to drive. It's similar to the Mustang Racer, okay? It's got lots of power. You expect a lot of wheel spin from the back, but it's got some of the most rear end grip I have ever seen from any car, and it is extremely pushy. I wouldn't really call it understeer. It's not like it's awful or anything, but it definitely does not want to turn. A bit like the Espace F1 as well. Very similar handling characteristic and overall driving experience to that Renault. Another weird thing about it is that it's called Camaro race car, but it's a professionally tuned car. And it's also not done by a shop or anything. It's done by Gran Turismo. It's not a real car, but it's got all these weird resto-modi elements to it that can be removed. You look at it and it looks a lot like the GAC Maverick, but the GAC Maverick is built by Greening Auto Company. This is not built by a company or a shop or anything. This is just an original car, but it's still like a direct rival to the GAC Maverick for some reason. It drives similar. It's an old American muscle car. It makes a lot of horsepower, but it's full of carbon fiber. It's got a sequential gearbox, and it has a lot of racing inspired stuff in it. I just don't really know why we got this instead of a period correct Trans Am style car. It's not bad. I don't dislike it. I do think it looks pretty cool. I think it definitely works. It's just a very weird choice for something called Camaro race car. There are plenty of actual shops that have done this style of 1969 Camaro, but instead of reaching out to them, Polyphony just called it a Chevrolet car from Brand Central and called it Race Mod, which is a professionally tuned car. Is kind of weird. But at the end of the day, licensing wise, this is probably easier. I don't know how easy it is to tie a fictional modified version of a car
to Chevrolet and sell it at the Chevrolet dealership where they sell real Chevrolets, but they also sell like the CX concept and stuff, but those are still made by Chevrolet, right? This seems like it's built more by Gran Turismo. So I'm a little bit confused by it all, but it's not a bad car by any means. It's actually pretty good. I enjoyed driving it. I'm not a big General Motors guy, but this thing's all right, I guess, just to drive every now and then. I'm not disappointed. I'm a little surprised, but I'm mostly just confused by why they decided to go with this specific route of a modified 1969 Camaro when there are other options. And this isn't like one of the worst options to pick. This is one of the better options. I just think it's really weird that they went out and did this on their own, if that makes sense. Since it already has a lot of race car elements, this car modified doesn't change that much. You can get more power out of it, and it is sold on sports tires, so overall, it's much faster, but the driving style of the car remains the same. Obviously, there's more wheel spin just because you have so much more power, but the tires help negate that. There's more, even when it's fully built with tires and downforce and proper suspension tuning and stuff. There's more than there was stock, but it's still pretty easy to drive. It's still really pushy, and I don't know. I don't really know what to use it for. I think 700 pp racing, it could be pretty good, but again, it's really pushy, so front tires are going to go away and lap times aren't going to be super great. They'll probably still be pretty competitive, but you're really going to get tired of having to fight that car through every corner, just because it feels like, again, like the Espas, the wheels are coming off the ground and hopping or something. It's super weird, but overall, I like the car. It's okay. I probably won't really touch it that much just because it's a professionally tuned car and, I don't know, not super competitive with anything I really do in this game, but it's out there now and it looks alright. It's pretty cool. I'm stunned. I don't know what to say about this car. It's such a weird design choice, but it's not bad. Usually when it's weird, it's bad. This one's not bad. So if you haven't tried it, I recommend you try it. The C63 is the first engine swap I'm going to talk about. This one gets the Mercedes-built V12 from the Pagani Huayra. I'm sure you don't need me to tell you that this is now a very fast car. It was before. Now it's just bonkers. I wouldn't call it impossible to drive, but it's getting right up there. This thing is like balancing a knife on a knife's edge. I'm not very good at the analogies today, but this one works pretty good for this car. I think once you're moving, the car has enough downforce to keep it stable, but when you're accelerating up to high speed and when you're braking at that high speed, it's really tough to handle. It can put down some good lap times, but when it comes to drivability and longevity, it's not going to be up there. I don't really think there's anything to use this car in event-wise. I think it's more just a dick around and have fun car because it's too fast for World Touring Car 600 and it'll melt down in 700. And for the most part, those are really the only single-player races that matter because those are the ones that get you the big bucks. So while I didn't dislike this swap, I didn't love it and it's just not useful. It's not going to get pulled out anytime soon, maybe ever again. I can think of a lot more cars with engine swaps that are in this, performance range that drive a lot better and last a lot longer. Maybe if you're super big into Mercedes, you might like this one. It's a Mercedes engine and a Mercedes car, and it makes a lot of horsepower. Otherwise, this is one that you'll probably be alright skipping on. The Chevelle now has the option of swapping the LS7 Rampage into it, but I highly suggest not doing that whatsoever. I'll explain this more in detail later in the video, but to summarize, this engine doesn't just make the car produce more power. It drastically changes the handling characteristics, and it's not because the engine's heavier or the car's moving faster and it doesn't have enough downforce to keep up with it. It's nothing like that. This doesn't just go for the Chevelle, but every car that has the LS7 Rampage is a swappable engine. If you're not going for a drag build or an oval racing build, stay away from the LS7 Rampage. The Abarth 500 gets the K24, and despite having almost 600 horsepower, handles it really well. In this game, if you're breaking 300 horsepower with a front-wheel drive car, you're going to have a tough time. But this is almost double that, and it's handling it pretty damn well, not gonna lie. Don't get me wrong, if I were to tune this car and actually use it in any races, I'd probably keep it at 300 to 400 horsepower.
But for me, that's a lot. This car handles that power super well. It keeps a lot of that front end grip despite fighting so many forces at once. And the Abarth itself is a pretty decent front wheel drive chassis. It's a really short wheelbase car, and it's got plenty of stability if you want to run less downforce at the rear. If you're a Honda guy at heart but you want to try something different, building this car for 600 pp with this swap isn't a bad idea. I'd recommend trying that. It was a pleasant surprise for me because I love front wheel drive cars, but I know if you give them too much power, they just suck. This one has too much power and it's not bad, so it's pretty cool. Again, I'm probably not going to use it for anything except for maybe my touring car's advanced lobby. Could be pretty good at that, but we'll just have to wait and see. But at the end of the day, I'd recommend trying this one. The standard Fiat 500 gets the B series from the Integra Type R, and unlike the Abarth 500 with the K series, this one's not so good. I think this swap is doable if you put the engine in and you only do a couple bolt-ons, but if you do a full build with this engine, this car is no longer very drivable. It kills the front tires and you never have any kind of front end grip on throttle. There's not much more to say about it beyond this swap being pretty damn cheap. So if you want to try it and you want to keep the power below maybe 300 horsepower, you're very welcome to. I think it could certainly work if you keep it in that lower power range, but fully built? Absolutely not. Complete waste of time and money. The Daihatsu Copen with a 13B is the exact same story. Fully built? Hell no. Limit the power? Hell yes. The really cool thing about this is a rotary engine, of course, doesn't have very much torque, and it's going in a front-wheel drive car. A car that doesn't really need that much torque because there's no drivetrain loss, and if you have so much torque that you'll rip the tires apart, you will rip the tires apart, no question asked, even if you're a god at throttle management. Combined with the fact that it's a super lightweight K car with plenty of chassis buildability and downforce, this thing's gonna be pretty damn good at lower PP races. Again, you're gonna want to keep it in that below 300 horsepower Goldilocks zone, but if you can do that and you want to try it in maybe 550 PP races, holy cow, I bet you'll have a blast. But fully built, even with the fact that it's a rotary and it doesn't have very much torque, still just too much for the car. But I suggest you try it and you keep it below 300 horsepower and you come report to me on whether or not you had fun, because I bet you will. I think now's a good time to look at the Fugu Z. This thing also gets the LS7 Rampage, and it's the car that I did my experiments in. Essentially, I noticed that cars with this engine have pretty terrible stopping power unless you hold the clutch in, which is kind of weird. Usually, engine braking helps slow the car, not make slowing the car a lot harder. So in this experiment, I went to Special Stage Route X. I braked at the same point, at the same speed in this car, once holding in the clutch, once not doing anything with the clutch, and once downshifting normally. And as you can see, my hypothesis was correct, because when I held the clutch in, the car stopped the soonest, or in the shortest distance, which is the same thing. But that's a better way to phrase it, because that's how we're tracking it. Now, why does this happen? One of my mates has one idea, and that's that the car has so much torque that it just does this. My personal hypothesis is that the flywheel is programmed wrong, or programmed super heavy, so it just keeps the revs and the momentum in the engine. With that being said, is this car good? No. As I've just demonstrated, this engine sucks. This engine blows. Moving on. The Pontiac GTO is next. I don't remember what engine it's got in it. It looks like the LS7 Rampage, so fuck that. No need to talk about this one. The Super B gets the Demon engine, and it's not necessarily horrible to drive, but it's not my kind of car from the get-go, and it's not good either. It's the same as when the 1970 Charger RT got the Demon swap, whatever update that was. It's the same thing as that car. It's just combination that makes sense, but isn't really that good overall to use. It's pretty hard to drive. It's not that fast PP wise, but in a straight line in an oval track, it's whatever. I guess it's fine. It's even not that bad around a lot of road courses, but elevation change is pretty tough, and really pushing it's pretty tough.
The Maserati Gran Turismo gets an engine swap, and instead of a Ferrari V12 or anything like that, it gets the fucking Demon engine. Yippee! This one's not actually that bad. I think this chassis can handle power a lot better than the old muscle cars. I like Maseratis, especially the Gran Turismo. Big a piece of shits they are. I like them. But I would have liked to see more cylinders and maybe some Italian stuff going on. Even though Stellantis and Fiat and Chrysler are all the same thing, you know what I mean. I think I have a temporary fix for it though, so I'm going to try that now. Yeah, I mean it kind of works. It's not right, but whatever. But the car overall, harder to drive, not impossible to drive, pretty damn fast, looks cool with the livery I made, because of course it does, I made it, and I'm a flawless human being with fantastic art skills. What else can you say? Wrong engine, but it did okay for the wrong engine. The Infiniti RX-7 gets a day one swap in the form of the 787B 4-rotor, and despite having twice the horsepower, it drives about the same as the standard engine, fully built. It's just as easy, but twice as fast, so despite it being very expensive and very repetitive, this is an okay swap to have. And that's about all there is to say about this update. Overall, very forgettable. Couldn't even talk very long about it without going in a circle. See you guys in April. Sorry for the really shitty video. Like 2 months late. This break has been pretty damn rough, man. I'm not gonna lie. 2 trees ripped down my fence. Many trips to the hospital for people who weren't me. I just haven't had a lot of motivation to do the Gran Turismo update videos lately. And this one was pretty shit. But April I feel a little bit better about. I think I can do better in April. So I'm going to recoup. I don't know when it's going to come out. If it doesn't come out the day after this video, it's late. And you're going to have to wait a while because I'm not finished with it by the time this video drops. So yeah, I'll see you guys. Good luck. Don't die. I hope I'm not dead by May 14th.